Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, from Jefferson City, Missouri. And we are here today talking about the economy. We're here today talking about why everything is so screwed up and why we're seeing the lowest consumer sentiment numbers in the history of consumer sentiment numbers since we've seen the index. Is that not absolutely insane? And yet we're sitting here amid the greatest stock market in the history of stock markets as well. So how does this actually happen? How do we actually see something where we can have stock markets and the entire economy ripping to the stratosphere? GDP, AI, infrastructure, whatever you want. But we can also have mass layoffs, and we can have people not able to find jobs, people out of work for 6+ months, people out of work from, the point they can't find a job as a white collar worker or whatever it is, to the point where, you get 26 weeks later and you're 6 months in and you still can't find a job. What do you do in that situation? Well, I think what you have to do is you have to accept something, obviously. But the other problem is, think about the amount of money that's been spent on these degrees. I mentioned in a previous video, my sister has somebody who she went to school with, and that person she went to school with, guys, is about $500,000 in debt as she got out of school. And this is something that we're seeing where people are going $100,000 in debt. What kind of return? I was just talking to somebody, I'm new here, right? So I don't usually come here. But what type of return are you getting on that? I mean, think about it. Somebody was going to college, they had 18 credit hours left. They're majoring in art history. I told her I was doing finance. Maybe art history is better than finance with AI for all we know. I mean, this is the crazy part, but I apologize for all the background noise. But, the point is, guys, this is something that we're seeing. And what do we look at when it comes to, somebody who's new to the economy, Gen Z, who wants to get ahead, and yet they can't do so because all the entry-level jobs are taken? What do you tell a person like that? And I don't know what the exact answer is. Besides, learn AI, right? That's the default answer. Just learn AI, bro. Just learn AI. Just become an AI tech bro. See, it's not that simple. A lot of people are not ingrained into this culture, Silicon Valley chatbot culture, AI infrastructure, whatever, AI everything to the moon. A lot of people are not into this to the point where they can feel like they have a reasonable chance at succeeding at such an endeavor. Like, most people don't even mess around with AI except for, making funny pictures or making something that's dumb and doesn't even really have much relevance to anything, but it's just for fun. So most people don't even care. First of all, most people, they hate AI. And when they do use it, even though they hate it, a lot of people use it still, right? That's the funny part too. But the other part is, when they do use it, they usually make like funny pictures or funny memes or something. And it's not, stupid stuff that doesn't really have much economic value. But also think about, when you're doing that, how much electricity costs you're generating. And we talk about the electricity cost for this artificial intelligence. Well, it is interesting to see all these data centers going up, and that's the one thing we saw in the jobs report. On another note, not a final note, but another note, we saw in the jobs report that we basically had a record number of it was construction jobs. And why is that? Of course, because of the data centers. Why else? But every other category pretty much was down. So how can you explain that? Of course, healthcare is always going to be the best performing pretty much over the long term. We saw healthcare as a strong sector already throughout, various portions of the year thus far. And so keep an eye on healthcare. But I mean, beyond that, like, what are we looking at in terms of this economy when we're talking 200,000 plus jobs 10 plus years ago, when I remember seeing those headlines firsthand? This is something that we have not seen in a very long time. So how can somebody, tell you that the economy is good when we have the absolute worst consumer sentiment numbers on record in the history of the numbers being recorded? And, this is something that I think is unprecedented in the history of all kinds of, basically any kind of, somebody looking at how do you build wealth in this type of economy? You know, how do you start a family? How do you get ahead and even pay your bills for that matter? You know, this is something that we, and you can ask Johnny down the street, you know, how he's feeling, and most people are going to tell you pretty bad. You know, people are concerned with millions of dollars even in their retirement portfolios. People close to me who I know for a fact have enough to, you know, are above 95% of Americans in terms of net worth, and yet they're afraid of, you know, how much they have in their retirement portfolios. This is what we're living through, because the fact of the matter is, you know, when it comes to this, there's no escape. Most people do not have enough saved for retirement. If you have $2 million plus or $1 million plus or whatever it is, you're in the top 10%. You know, when you get up to 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, now you're in the top 5 or even top 1%, depending on how much you have. If you have 30 million plus, you're pretty much in the top 1%, or you should be. But you know, this is in total assets, total number of assets. How much do you own relative to what the dollar has been inflated to? Because everything has gone up in price, ultimately because of the Federal Reserve, all the liquidity they injected into the system, and then they gaslit us. And Jerome Powell sat there and said it was not transitory. Well, in fact, my friend, it was transitory. So as we come here to the Capitol, and this is where people, you know, are probably have some good jobs in government. You know, some people are sitting here making big money probably behind us. It's a nice little Capitol building, nice little downtown, nice restaurants. I had a very good, you know, prime rib at a restaurant earlier. Very blessed, and I thank God for all my blessings and everything, because guys, you know, these things can be taken away. The Lord gives and the Lord takes away. And here's the thing, you know, this is not the Capitol, by the way, but the point is, you know, you get the idea. Like, this is how people live in the Capitol, you know, nice secure jobs, nice cars, but not all people live like this. Not all people have the $80,000 to $100,000 corporate job that pays all their bills, and they don't have to worry about a lot of things. A lot of people have to struggle, especially those without degrees or certifications. And as much as people don't like to admit it, they can look at the data short term and see where that looks at, but I still think long term, people with advanced degrees, you know, specializing in certain niches, they're gonna need expertise in certain fields. You can't replace every single white collar worker. It's not gonna happen. So that's what we're looking at in terms of what's in demand. The top 10 to 15% of graduate degree holders and things of that nature, that's what we're gonna see. And I think that's gonna be a trend going forward. But ultimately, I don't think you can look at this and say, you know, this is a good thing. This is a massive student loan bubble, credit card debt ballooning higher, national debt, deficit spending, wars in Iran. There's nothing that you can say looks good. The only thing that they have going for them, and the only reason the stock market keeps ripping higher, is because they believe that AI or artificial intelligence can do magic, and they think that they will come out of this ahead. When I say they, I mean the tech overlords, right? Elon Musk, all these guys. Even Elon Musk has been critical of a lot of things regarding this. But the point is, guys, this is a big, massive bubble that will come tumbling down eventually. You cannot tell me that there is going to be a massive boom forever. Everything goes up, it will come back down, and this is no exception. So what we're seeing here is a massive greed cycle that will come crashing down, maybe in 2027, maybe not, maybe 2030 for that matter. Who knows? Maybe it takes another pandemic to get things under control. I hate to say that, but who knows? Lord willing, you know, things are peaceful, and you know, we can transition things in this country. And you know, you see this flag behind me, guys. You know, I grew up with this flag. I grew up in a land, and I used to thank God when I woke up, not all the time, but you know, because I've been ungrateful many times. But you know, this flag right here, this flag behind me, you see me pointing at that. You know, that the flag still stands for freedom. You know, they're not supposed to be able to take that away. We must fight for that. You know, and so no matter who you're, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. What do you believe? Do you believe that we have the ability to organize peacefully without causing disruptions? Do you believe that we have the ability to exercise our own rights in this country, our God-given rights, to practice our own, you know, religious freedom and whatever it is, freedom of expression, as long as we're not infringing on the rights of others? Do you believe in these rights? Do you believe in what, you know, I grew up with when I'm 30 years old, but you know, as I get older and what I saw when I was younger, you know, growing up, all of the, you know, things that shaped me. And one thing that I was always grateful for when I was younger, and I remember thinking this, not always, like I said, but I would think these thoughts, you know, how in the United States of America, you know, we're blessed to live here. We have food, we have shelter, we have so many great things, and so many other people around the world don't have these things. And so on a final note, guys, let's not take this for granted. Let's not take these things for granted. Let's not take the opportunities we have for granted in this nation. God can heal this nation if we let him, but I don't know if we're willing as a nation, and that's the question. So as I stand before you tonight, I want to thank you for tuning in. God bless you and God bless America. Thank you for making it to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.